It's a big Chinese official writer association. The association covers most writers. But in this 10, 15 years, more and more writers, they want to become independent. They don't want to become part of an official pen center or called official writer association. The two is one name. So since 2001, I'm established this founder, this independent Chinese pen center. Three years ago, I have a literature memoir just published. The memoir mentioned, since I cannot back to China, I leave my hometown, home country, it's a language, Chinese language, Chinese. Now I cannot stay in China. So that means I'm already 15 years cannot publish any book in China. So that means I have to publish my work in outside, including Taiwan. Why I choose Taiwan? Same language, same long history, but now they are real separate. Each other not interested in another language, another literature. He won Nobel Peace Prize in his jail time. He's won Nobel Peace Prize in 2010. It's already over, my God, it's 5 years. So he is in jail. He's only one in jail's Nobel Peace Prize winner. You know, it's Nobel Peace Prize winner, you know, have some people in jail, like Nelson Mandela, Aung San Suu Kyi, house arrest. But it's in jail. He's only him. He's our Pen Center former president. He also, before, he's a literary critic. So he's also a poet. But he spent more and more time, it became political fighting. Also, I should say, he's an independent intellectual.
放逐，我在时间的尽头经历放逐。 手臂的弯度，记忆的功，我用我的汉字清晰异国的天空。
Pen Center of Croatia paid an activity to Musine Kokalari, who was an Albanian writer, imprisoned, internated, and she died in internation. And she even was, they gave her the PEN International Prize on 1950 when she was in jail. And the most let's say, ironic thing is that she died without even noticing that. She died on late 80s, but she didn't know that because they kept secret, the regime, even the news from her, and they dismissed all her works, all her books, her novels. In general, its art doesn't have that, in my opinion, that military mission. Its art is universal. It's deeper than political systems or history or ethnic or religion. And that's why art joins people from all around the world. And even they belong to different ethnic groups. They belong to different religions. Even they belong to different histories.
Outside the house, There was only a ladder to climb, a wooden one, leaning against the wall all year long, ready to use to repair the tiles in August before the rains. No angels climbed up, and no angels climbed down. Only men suffering from sciatica.
When you talk about literature in Botswana, you kind of have to include what we call live literature, what's often referred to now as live literature. So the idea of a literature rooted in the oral or presented, for the ear and for the eye as well. Because if you exclude it, then you almost have to reach the conclusion that there isn't very much literature coming out of Botswana, which isn't true, because every week there are poetry open mics and young writers are getting together to read to each other and to perform to each other. And so this is very much a gift, but it can also be a challenge because a lot of the emerging writers focus on perhaps the performance element of what's often called performance poetry, rather than the poetry itself. Perhaps as writers, we shouldn't concern ourselves so much with the audience, right? Either as the editor of our text to dictate what we write because we're trying to reach more and more people, right? It should be perhaps a lot less like the way you might approach pop music, that you're trying to follow a particular formula that gets you lots and lots of people. Because I would rather you produce that one authentic piece of writing that is so rooted in its own truth that it serves its purpose whether now or 100 years from now, and that it impacts one or two of the right individuals. I have been told that my poetry is, that my politics is under the radar, that I hide under the face of, say, women and children and making the poem about a hungry woman. But in the meantime, it appears as though I am making a political statement about the government. Why is she hungry? Why is she on the side of the road and not at home or in a much better circumstance? And I think this is true. I ran away from it for a long time because I don't have a confrontational personality. I was reading an article by, why would I forget his name, an amazing Belarusian poet and singer-songwriter, and he was giving this analogy of how if you were a singer in Belarus, you might be able to get away with being on stage for 15 minutes singing before the police would come for you to try and move you away from the stage. But that if you were a poet, it would be a bit like a slam, a poetry slam. It wouldn't be more than 3 minutes before they would want you to get out of there. And I think that's a true indication of just how powerful, even if poets themselves sometimes forget that, just how powerful others outside of our world appear to think that poetry is enough to arrest some of us and put us in jail.